Welcome students to Contracts and Accounts. Myself and Vibhopre from Rajendra Mani Polytechnic Ambo. Today we will discuss about the accounts in PWD, that is unit number 4 from your curriculum. Accounts in PWD is nothing but the method of bookkeeping from which the cost of various services can be accurately known. The system of accounts is to be followed by any organization which receives and distributes the money value. So, in PWD account system, the government inform the names of drawings and distributing officers to the accountant general, and thereafter the head of department intimates the mm, monthly limit of cash to be provided at the disposal of the drawing and disbursing officers. Okay, so uh, checks are issued to the contractors by disbursing officer. They sometimes the drawing and disbursing officer draw a cash against the task assignment. The drawing and disbursing officer has to submit the closed cash book with all the corresponding vouchers and bills to the accountant general, anyhow, at the end of the month. Okay, so there are prescribed forms in which all accounts, original bills, and transactions are recorded, and then all these accounts, bills and transactions are kept preserved. All prescribed form should be as specified in Financial Handbook Volume 6, so, or in Public Work Account Code. So numbering is done to each account form, and all the forms are serially arranged in number, and then these serially arranged numbered forms are published in a book called as Book of Forms. So there is a standard procedure for account and bookkeeping in the PWD. So the what various account forms are there. That is a measurement book, nominal muster roll, impressed cash account, indent, invoice, bills, vouchers, cash book, and temporary advance form. So we will see one by one the format of each form and its use. Okay. So first one is measurement book. We already discussed in estimating and costing subject the measurement book, that is MB. It is form number 23. Okay, so this is a standard format of MB. All the details of measurement of all work are prescribed in the form number 23, which is nothing but the measurement book, or in short we will say it is MB. Okay, so measurement book is a special type of book in which measurements of all construction work done and supplies with respect to the sanction estimate are recorded. So measurement book is the very important record because all the payments of work are done based on the entries done in measurement record. So all payments of all work is done based on entries done in MB. So measurement book includes the particulars, details of actual measurement, that is numbers, length, breadth, depth or width, and contents of area or quantity. Okay. So all the pages of measurement book are machine number. So each book contains the extra pages for index, for review by divisional accountant, and for the review and feedback by the executive officer or executive engineer. So Numbering is done serially to all the measurement books, and registers showing the serial number of each book is maintained in the divisional officer along with the name of the officer and subdivision who this register to whom this register is issued. So date of issue, date of return condition and remark. So note, in the subdivisional officer, a similar register is kept maintained on which the name of officer to whom it is issued. So date of issue, date of return and condition of remarks. So during the measurement book, some precautions are to be taken. So entries of all the items must be continuous in the measurement book, measurement sheet, with no any blank space in between the book. So officer should clarify with remarks as measured by me, and the end of each task work or set of the measurement, and with his full signature with date. So overseer should know or familiar to all the conditions and specifications prescribed in the contract agreement prior to the taking measurement. So a record of all measurements should be done by ink directly in the measurement book itself. Okay. So if any mistake while entering the record, then it should not be erased but should be corrected by crossing out the mistake and inserting a correction with initiated and dated. Okay. So for cancelled measurement book, the cancellation should be supported by the initial of the corresponding officer. So measurement of the items or the particulars must be taken in presence of the contractor, and at the bottom of the measurements contractor signature with the date should be taken so as to avoid the future disputes and allegations. Okay. So if any page left blank by mistake, then these blank pages should be crossed or cancelled by the diagonal lines by ink pen with duly initiated, attested and dated concerned officer. So when the measurement book is used by the number of officers, then the name of these officers must be written at the beginning of the measurement book. So for work being done by the contractor and departmental labors, a separate measurement book must be used. Uh, if measurement book cannot be traced for a month, then the true fact must be reported to the superintendent engineer for his suitable action. If the measurement book is lost, then it is considered as a serious matter and has to be reported to the higher authorities or higher officers. This is the measurement book is very important form as far as the bookkeeping or record keeping is concerned. The next form is nominal muster roll. The muster roll, which is maintained to keep the record of work being done by the labor employed on each day, is called as a nominal muster roll. So payment is made to the labor based on the presence of recorded in the this muster roll format. Okay. So presence of the labor in muster roll should be marked by a suitable and proper officer. The muster roll should have periodic inspection by higher authorities. Uh, there are two parts included in the muster roll, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, there are columns and spaces kept to mention the name of worker, their designation, date of attendance or presence, rate of wages, total amount of each worker or labor, total amount for the whole signature of the person taking attendance, signature and date of the officer issuing payment. This is part 1 of nominal muster roll or NMR. And part 2, details of quantity of work being done by the labor or worker and progress of worker are kept recorded. So this is a nominal muster roll. It is called as a NMR, and this is form number 21. Okay. So then next form is impressed cash account. This is form number 2. So standing advance amount of a fixed sum of money given to the subdivisional officer and sub assistant engineer so as to make day-to-day petty payments is called as an impressed cash. So this expenditure items are entered in by blue ink, whereas the receipts are recorded by red ink. So each and every payment are supported by the voucher. Impressed cash is spent with a view and following the prevailing rules and regulations. So the record of transactions are to be prepared in duplicate and original transactions are sent to the higher authority for the purpose of sanctioning. So the impressed cash must be recouped uh, whenever necessary, probably at the end of each month by submitting the details of accounts of money spent with showing balance. So this is impressed cash account. So impressed cash is nothing but the advance money given to the subdivisional officer for day-to-day petty payments. Okay. It is called as the impressed cash. So next form is form number 7. It is called as an indent for store. Okay, and invoice. So material from the stock or from the store are issued on demand in the proper form number 7. So indent form is a demand form. Uh, is termed as a indent, which is prescribed by subdivisional officer or assistant engineer. Indent form is prepared in 4 copies. In all 4 copies of indent, an entry of the quantity of stores issued is made with the signature of storekeeper. Out of 4 copies, 1 copy of indent is remain with the storekeeper record. The second copy is returned at once to the indenting officer, and remaining third and fourth copies are being sent to DO, divisional officer. Okay, so the indent is nothing but a demand note of the material from the store. Okay, and receipt is form number 8. Okay, form number 8 is the receipt of that particular issued material. Okay, next is cash book. So cash book is a form number 1. Okay, so the cash book is nothing but the form or a booklet in which all cash transactions taking place day to day are strictly entered in order of occurrence is called as a cash book, and it is called as it is form number 1. So the most important document in the form of account record of the division is called as cash book. Day to day cash transactions which are made are entered strictly in order of occurrence. So the pages of cash book that is form number 1 are machine number. So each page is split up into two parts. One part is receipt side at the left hand and second part is payment side on the right hand. So when the cash book is closed and physically counting of cash is done by the divisional officer, then cash balance reported is made. So certificate of count of cash is recorded by divisional officer in the cash book, showing the details of closing balance under three heads such as temporary advance, impressed, and cash in chest, etc. Okay, so this is form number 1. Okay. So another forms are there. Hand receipt. So hand receipt is nothing but the receipt or voucher uh, of miscellaneous payments and advances for which none of the special form are there. So forms 24, 26 and 27 are suitable for hand receipt. Okay, then vouchers are there. Voucher is a legal receipt prepared for purpose of proof against payments made, is called as a voucher. So in case of laborers or workers which are public related part, payments are not made without submitting the vouchers in proper and prescribed forms. The vouchers should have the brief description of work done on particulars or items. After payment, the vouchers which are duly signed by public concern like labor or worker should be kept in a record uh, as a legal proof of payment. So this is form number 28. Voucher is form number 28. Okay. Then bills, form number 28 and 27 are called as a bills. So detailed account of claim for work done or supply made is called as a bill. So bill consists of quantities, rates and account amount due. Okay, so payment against the bill to be given to the contractor is prepared from the abstract is the measurement book. So there are various standard forms of bills or for payment for different works. White bills are generally used for running bills, where the yellow forms are used for final bills. Okay. Then uh, we will see the mode of payments to the contractor. So there are various modes of payments to the contractor such as interim payment, advance payment, secured advance, on account payment, first and final payment, retention money, reduced rate payment, or petty advance and mobilization advance. Okay, so we will see one by one the mode of payment of contractor are the measurement book. Already we discussed plays a vital role because of the payment to be given to the contract work or material supply are made on the basis of measurement entered in the measurement book. So the detailed measurements are being taken by overseer or entered in measurement book. When work or material supply is sufficiently progressed or completed, after entering the detailed measurements, an uh, abstract of quantities is prepared. Abstract of quantities is prepared, and cost is calculated according to the rates mentioned in the agreement. So payment for small work is made to the contractor by one payment, and number of payments are made by running account bills during the progress of work. When the work or supply is completed by contractor, then in such cases the payment to the contractor can be made finally by one payment. So from each payment 10% is deducted from the contractor as a security deposit in case if the contractor is not deposited the full amount of security deposit. Okay, so if security deposit is not deposited by contractor in full amount, then 10% from each running bill is deducted as a security deposit. So first is interim payment. Interim payment is nothing but partial payment given to the contractor monthly for work in progress or supply in progress under the terms of contract is called as interim payment. Interim payment is not be considered as a final acceptance of the work up to that level. So powers are given to the engineer to hold the interim payment under the special circumstances. Now, so the what is the necessity of interim payment? Suppose in case of large projects, the contractor has to invest a large amount for a longer duration and this is not suitable or possible to the contractor. The progress of project work may affect due to lack of funds with the contractor. In such cases, the interim payment is made to the contractor. So, as to continue the progress of the project without any break, the interim payment is made. Uh, Interim payment also indicates the approximate value of work done by the contractor. Okay. The bills are paid to the contractor at interval. There will be the check over the progress of the project work. Hence, the progress of work must be in proportion to the duration of the project. So, interim payment is an amount disbursed to the contractor on running account payment, advance payment, secured advance payment, etc. So form number 47 is used for making the interim payments. Then next one is advance payment. Advance payments, the payments made on running account to the contractor for work done but not measured is called as an advance payment. Advance payment is not generally paid to the contractor but under special circumstances uh, uh, advance payment is issued to the contractor on the certificate of assistant engineer who is in charge of the project work. The value of work done should not be less than the advance payment proposed to be made to the contractor. So then secured advance. There are four types of advance payment: secured advance, petty advance, mobilization advance, and on account advance. Okay, so secured advance, an advance payment made to the contractor on the basis of security of materials brought by the contractor to the site for of work under construction is called a secured advance. Authority to make the secured advance is in the hand of divisional engineer up to the amount not exceeding 75% of the value of the material brought to the site by contractor. So amount of secured advance is adjusted in the next running account bill within the proportion of that of actual consumption of the material. So this is secured advance. So next is on account payment. The payment made on running account to the contractor for the work done by him or supplies by him which is measured and recorded in measurement book is called as on account payment. Okay. The payment is made when only a part of complete work or supply have been done and the work or supply is in progress. So 10% amount is kept as deposit out of which 5% amount is to be refunded at the end of the maintenance period. Okay, so this percentage of amount may be vary or change. Then final payment, the payment to be made within 3 months from the date of issue of certificate of final completion is called as final payment. After completion of work done by the contractor in all respect, the engineer prepare the final amount of work accurately after deducting all the previous payments made to the contractor. Okay. The first and final payment. A single payment made for a small job or small work on its completion is called as first and final payment. This type of payment is usually made or applicable for small works only. For example, construction of sanitary block for school building, compound wall construction, septic tank construction, or ornamental grill work, uh, demolishing existing structures, etc., are the examples of small works for which the first and final payment are made to the contractor. Okay. Then retention money, some amount to be hold from the security deposit of the contractor by the engineer in charge when there is any claim for the payment arises out of or under the contract against the contractor is called as retention money. So this amount is hold up till the finalization or adjustment of any claim is settled. So it is called as retention money. Some amount is hold from the security deposit of the contractor. To rectify the defects, to meet the damages if any, or any incomplete work, or work not done in prescribed date and time, then the retention money is kept hold, or a security deposit, some part of security deposit is hold, is called as a retention money. Then petty reduced rate payment, the payment which may grant by the engineer with the reduced rate when the contractor completes an item or work not as per the specifications drawings given in contract terms and conditions is called as a reduced rate payment when contractor is not completes work as per the specifications drawings given in contract terms and conditions, then the reduced rate payment rate of that item is reduced by the engineer, so it is called as a reduced rate payment. Okay, the work or an item which is not done as per the specifications drawings given in the prescribed term of conditions of contract by the contractor, then such case the engineer may pay the amount with reduced rate, making the remark as the work is structurally sound. Okay, so next one is petty advance. So small amount given in advance to the engineer in charge in case of emergency need is called as a petty advance. The engineer in charge can utilize the petty advance for purchasing the materials in small quantities and which is not more costly. So, there is no need of any quotation and approval by the competent authority for petty advance. Okay. Then mobilization advance. The mobilization advance is the amount of money given to the contractor for establishment purpose. Okay, so for establishment charges, the establishment charges consist uh, approach roads, site office, go down for storage of building materials, water tank, electric connections, other facilities which ensures the safety of on the project and smooth working is called as a mobilization advance. Then e-payment. E-payment, an electronic payment. It is defined as paying of goods or services to the contractor on the internet. So it includes all financial operations using electronic devices such as computers, smartphone, or tablets, etc. E-payments come with various methods like credit or debit card payments or bank transfers, etc. E-payments are considered a fast and secure alternative to traditional payment methods such as bank transfer, checks, etc. So it is generally cheaper, uh, easier and faster than all payment methods. Okay. So these are the methods or modes of making payments to the contractor. So thank you very much.